Good morning YouTube, how's it going? My name is Tan and today we are going to learn how to tattoo lines on fake skin. I will leave in the link in the description to every single thing I will be using in this video. This is what we're going to learn to tattoo today. I will leave a link to this picture in the description so you can download it and practice with me if you want to, should you choose to, whatever. Or if you want to tattoo it on someone, free design for you guys. There you go, you guys are welcome. Because I love you guys. You will need ink, whatever color you choose to use, Vaseline to keep your stencil clean, paper towels, ink cup. We will need 3 needles, 1209 round shader, 1207 round liner, 1203 round liner, and of course your practice skin. These are the 5x6 sheets, and they're 3mm thick. You can get these on Amazon for relatively cheap. You will need 2 of them. I like to use 2 so that I can have a proper, so that the machine isn't hitting straight to the table. You can put a piece of cardboard, whatever you want, just so that it doesn't hit straight on the table or on a hard surface, or you know what I mean. Should you accidentally go through the skin, you don't want to puncture whatever surface you're using. And the robot dog that I will be using today is the XNETTITAN. The reason why we need 3 different needles is because I want to show you guys what line weight can do. It can actually show depth. It'll show that something is closer to you and something is further, being in the same image. You know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to show you guys. That's why if you don't have the exact needle sizes that I have, do not worry. You can always go back and double line your thick lines. But I will say this: try to tattoo everything in purple. So the same thickness that you see, everything, try to tattoo what you see. If it's purple, tattoo it. This will show you that this will help your tattoo look like it lives in a 3D space. It'll give it depth. Let's get started. We're gonna start with the 9 round shader. So a quick tip is, if you can rest that part of the cartridge on your finger, you'll get a more consistent line. So what I mean is, just remember to rest the cartridge, or this part of the cartridge, on your finger, and that will help you achieve crispier straight lines, and your finger will act as a guide, and it'll help you just pull consistent lines, you know what I mean? So basically what's going to happen is it's just going to act as a kind of like a guide, and it's going to fix your lines into a consistent weight. Okay, so the machine is running at 8 volts, and we're going to start slow. If this was real skin, you wouldn't have to go this slow, but since this is fake skin, you have to go real slow, because it doesn't really take ink the way real skin takes ink. And in all reality, you're probably going to give it a second pass, possibly even a third, because this is just this doesn't act like real skin, and I'm not used to fake skin. I haven't tattooed fake skin in quite a while. Remember to dab, don't wipe, dab at it. And also I forgot to mention that this stencil I applied the stencil on this fake skin about 6 hours ago, so it wouldn't smear off, because if you try to tattoo it when the stencil is fresh, it's gonna wipe off. But let's continue. Here I am going to continue the line going upwards, and I would rather push a line rather than pull it. And if I'm pulling, I like to face the needle towards me and the machine away from me, if that makes any sense, because I feel it's a more consistent hit. Okay, so you see that line right here that looks kind of faded? This is what I mean by you're going to have to probably give it a second pass. So don't worry about it right now. If you want to take on it right now, you can go ahead and take on it right now, but I wouldn't worry too much about it, because we still have to do a final cleanup at the end of the tattoo. I'm gonna do it, but hey, you don't have to. If you want to, go ahead. Keep in mind that if this was real skin, you wouldn't be passing it this many times. You would try to get it all in the single pass. And trust me when I tell you, when you go this slow on real skin, you're going to get that line in. So don't stress too much about it on fake skin. Again, this is where we learn to use our technique. But if you can get a bold line that looks like it's in there, more than likely it's gonna be in there in real skin. Okay, so you see this ink splatter happening right here. That's because I have too much ink in the tube, and you don't want to do that all the time. Again, this is practice skin, so you know it's okay, I guess, but just be mindful when you're tattooing on real skin. That much ink will actually make a mess and will stain your stencil, and you're gonna have to wipe it and possibly erase it. But yeah, so here I'm just gonna go back over the line a bit faster, just for the sake of the video not being so long, and hopefully it takes. Okay, another thing to note is when you're starting another line, try to start your lines where the stencil connects with another line, if that makes any sense. So like corners, or try to end your lines in corners, so that that initial start of you going in with the needle doesn't show in your actual line work, if that makes any sense. You know what I mean? So right here I'm ending on a corner, and I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna finish on another corner where another line starts. Do you see what I mean? Okay. So should I go further up? No, I don't. Let's just go down here. Let's go down here. We'll continue down here. This way I don't smear my stencil. Oh, too much ink again. And if you can troubleshoot your needles, sometimes, like when you're working on fake skin, at least in my case, since the skin doesn't absorb the petroleum jelly, it's going to clog your needles, and you want to keep a dip cup or a paper towel and just kind of like wipe your needles. Take off your needle and wipe the tip of it, because you know more than likely there's like petroleum jelly clogging the tip, and it's constricting ink flow. But yeah, right now it's doing good. I might have to wipe it pretty soon, but I'll see how I feel. I'll see what I'll see. Again, double passes on everything, mainly because it's a round shader, and the round shaders tend to require more, because it's not so much liners tend to pierce and shaders tend to punch, because they hold a wider area, or they hit a wider area rather than a point like the round liners. And again, guys, remember starting in corners, and yeah, I have to wipe this needle because it's starting to clog. I'll probably finish this area up and then wipe it. And the reason why I'm using a round shader over a round liner is because the round shader, in my opinion, is a bit less traumatic on the skin, because it's more of a hit rather than a cut or a pierce. Round liners tend to pierce the skin rather than punch it like round shaders. That's just a theory I have. I've noticed that my work, at least my work, heals a lot better when I use a round shader over a round liner for thicker lines. And I don't know if I should continue. I don't know what angle my camera's at. I can't see it. I might just switch needles. Let me switch needles, and we'll just go from there. I'll just switch needles, and this is the 7 round liner, and we're gonna go for the medium lines now. So this is basically anything that's overlapping anything in the background, so I'm gonna line everything in the foreground at this point. And this is basically going to be just this long nail that's in front of this finger, and some of the muscles, and but just mainly this is what I'm focused on.
So it's going to give me a thinner line than the actual outline, but it's going to be a thicker line than the lines I need for like the little details on the scales and whatnot, the muscle lines and whatnot. And as you can see, this is a much thinner line. And don't forget to apply your petroleum jelly so that you can actually wipe up your excess ink or your ink splatters relatively quickly and easily. We're gonna give it a second pass now and see what it looks like. Okay, so this finger is going to overlap the finger behind it. So is this little bubbly muscle thing here. So I'm gonna kind of outline this part and outline part of this finger. Basically, I think I'm going to just outline the entire finger with this. Just if I need to thicken out the edges of the finger, then I'll do that to show the skin breaks. But as of right now, I'm going to I'm going to just outline anything that's overlapping. You know what I mean? And as you can see, these are the little creases that are overlapping to show that they're the closest creases to us. And those ink splatters are getting on my nerves. That's because these needles are thinner and they just basically picked up all the Vaseline that's on the skin. And once your canvas starts to look like this, like it's, you know, kind of dirty, you know, you can give it a wipe. Maybe apply some petroleum jelly on there and then give it a wipe. Okay, so now I'm gonna outline this part of the finger because this finger overlaps their pinky finger. And this medium line is going to help show that. And I think that is it for this liner. So we're moving on to the 3-round liner, and this is so that we can do like all the little details, the scales, the outline of the nails. You know, if I had a single needle, I'd probably use it, but I don't have a single needle because I hate doing tattoos in single needle. So as you can see, the voltage is the same, by the way. It's still the same voltage. But as you can see, these lines go in a lot easier because it's a thinner needle, so much less is required. And we're gonna get every single little muscle detail, like everything we can with this really thin needle. Look buff, you know what I mean? Like this rooster actually uses them. Oh, by the way, yeah, it is a rooster foot, a very exaggerated rooster foot. I like roosters. Oh, rookie mistake, I ran out of ink. Yeah, you can always just redip and, you know, trace your line again. This needle is running kind of funky, to be honest, but it's fake skin. If it was real skin, I would have switched the needle, but since this is fake skin, you know, I'm just gonna use it until I get like really tired of it and I can't stand it anymore. And this will happen Occasionally, not all the time. Occasionally, just this is something that you have to learn to do. You have to learn to read your gear or troubleshoot your gear. Sometimes needles come out bad. You know what I mean? The membrane is bad, or it was soldered crooked, or something's going on. You know what I mean? You'll hear it in the cartridge, and I could hear it in the cartridge as soon as it ran, but I don't care. It's fake skin. You know what I mean? And you could definitely see it in the paint splatter. Like it's just doing it. It's doing whatever it wants. It's creating a mess, and you know the inconvenience here is that I just have to keep wiping and I have to kind of guess where my lines are gonna be. But since I drew it, I can kind of guess correctly. But yeah, if you get a cartridge like this when you're tattooing real skin, swap it out, toss it, get a new one, because more than likely the cartridge is damaged. And yes, these are some funky looking nails or claws or hooves or whatever you want to call this. And I get that, they're kind of exaggerated, but that's the point of a neo-traditional tattoo. You want to exaggerate some things here and there, just to show that it's got life. You know what I mean? So it's not so flat and boring, because it makes the tattoo, or it makes the design more interesting if you add little things here and there. Like I showed this design to a buddy of mine, and he's like, well, what is it? Is it a dragon foot or some kind of lizard foot? And I'm like, no, it's actually a chicken foot or a rooster foot. He's like, it doesn't look like one. I'm like, well, you know what? Forget you. I know what I drew. But yeah. Let me know in the comments if you think it looks like a dragon foot or rooster foot. I think it's a very exaggerated rooster foot. Yeah, I see how it could look like a dragon foot, but I wasn't drawing a dragon foot. I was drawing a rooster foot. Lucky rooster, because I like roosters. I lived in Mexico a couple of years, and I owned roosters, and I would fight them back in my young days. I had a Johnny Jumper. I know that at this angle, these thinner lines don't look like these 3 round liner lines don't look like they're thicker or thinner, but I promise you that they are. Once, if you're looking at it from your own perspective, you'll see how much thinner the 3 round liner lines are versus the 7 round liners. again, keep in mind that you don't want to tattoo this slow on real skin, you know what I mean? Because you'll just end up chewing up the skin. So I'll try to do a video where I show you how I tattoo lines on real skin. It's probably around the same speed as this, but the voltage isn't at this setting. It depending on woman or male, man or female, skin area, you know, that will all depend. And every single time you change your needle sizes or configuration, you have to adjust your voltage. So if you were trying to line with a really fat liner, like a, you know, let's say like a 9-round shader, for example, like in this case, your voltage would be higher. And if you want to line, if you have to switch from a 9-round shader to a 3-round liner, then you would lower your voltage or increase your hand speed to make that adjustment. You know what I mean? Just keep that in mind. But again, this is fake skin. Right here I'm taking it slow so that you can learn hand speed and consistency, so that when it's your turn or your time to shine on skin, you will produce decent results. You know what I mean? Crispy, clean lines. Alright, so we're going to speed up the video just a little bit, you know, just so that the video isn't 10 hours long, you know what I mean? And I'm not editing hours worth of footage. Okay, so here we're back on the 9-round shader, just to get the bold outline on the outside of the tattoo. And I went ahead and I wiped it down through the time lapse. And as you can see, it's not giving me that huge ink splatter, which it will again because of like the Vaseline and whatnot. And I raised the voltage up to 8.5. And as you can see, I'm lowering my hand speed just to compensate for the fatter needle. Oh, too much ink. Yeah, it's clogged again. Don't worry about this happening. If it happens on real skin, it's because you're using too much ointment. You don't wanna like smear ointment on it. You know, you want to give it a light, thin coating. That's all. It's just so that the ink splatter that falls on there doesn't stick to the skin. You know what I mean? Alright, so I'm going to increase the speed of the footage. Your hand speed should stay the same. Everything should be the same. You know, if you swap your needle cartridge, if you're at the 9-round shader and you're using a direct drive, you should be at 8.5 or 9 volts. And if you're on the 7-round liner, then you should be at 8 volts. And if you're on the 3-round liner, then you should be at 7.5. With the hand speed that you saw that I've been tattooing with, you should be golden. And again, this is a practice skin, and this is where you're going to learn. You're going to figure out your very own hand speed. You can try to mimic mine, but everybody works differently. Your machine might be different. Your power supply might be different. You might have a different stroke on your machine. All that varies. What I'm giving you, the ingredients I'm giving you are the ones that you would need to get the exact recipe that I'm working with. You know what I mean? I'm sorry, that came out wrong. The instructions that I'm giving you are for the setup that I have. Your setup is going to be and might be different. You might not have the machine that I'm using, and You might have your machine might not be direct drive, but this is where you are going to learn. As long as you're tattooing around the same speed that I am, then we should be in the same ballpark. And I will see you towards the end of the video when it's time to clean up the entire tattoo. And yes, you can clean up a tattoo in real life as well. And yeah, I'll see you then, guys. Okay, so I just wanted to give you guys a quick mention. So you see how the angle has changed now on the skin. Normally in real life you would not be able to do that unless you move your entire body around or move the person around, which whatever you have to do to get your best results, you know what I mean? But I just wanted to show you that um, now that we switch the angle, it's easier to see how the lines, some lines are thicker and some lines are thinner. Not exactly in this shot, but you will see further in the later into the tattoo how what I'm talking about. And yeah, enjoy the vid, guys. And here we switch back to the 7-round liner because this finger is overlapping the actual arm or hand part of this foot, as you can see right here. So that is the 7-round liner, guys, because we want to show that it's overlapping, but not exactly with a really thick line. The thick line is just for the outline, to give it a kind of like a comic book effect. Okay, so here we're switching back to the 3-round liner so we can finish the little details, the scales, and like the outline of the claws or hubs, whatever you want to call it. Nails. Okay, so now right here I'm cleaning up the tattoo. See how I'm making the ends of the claws nice and sharp. Just making the tattoo look nice and slick. Whatever lines need a quick touch up, now is the time to do it. And if you are a beginner and you don't want to bite off more than you can chew, the line work on your first session is more than enough. Again, if this was real skin, you know, this looks good enough for the person to wear until you're ready for a second session. You know what I mean? Which would be shading or color or whatever you want. But for now, I think this looks solid. So if you manage to do something similar to mine, guys, give yourselves a pat on the back because you guys did amazing. I would love to see what you guys do if you guys tried it. Send it to my Instagram. The link is gonna come out right now. Just send it to my Instagram. I would love to see what you guys did with it and how it came out. And again, if you guys have questions or concerns, put it in the comments or in my Instagram. I can message you directly and tell you, hey, you know what, maybe you could try this to improve certain aspects if you need it. If not, you guys are golden. Right now I'm just cleaning this up a bit and just to make it pretty for the camera, you know what I mean? Let's get it.
Alright guys, hope you guys enjoyed it. This should be your final result. Now, this is going to be part 1 of 3. So this tattoo is going to turn into 3, or this design is going to turn into 3 different videos. The next video we're going to do shading on it, and the final video we're going to put color into it. So what you will need for the next video is 3-round liner, 1 3-round liner, and a 9-round mag, and that's it. That's it. Or 9 flat mag. I prefer 9-round mags. So 1203 RL, 1209 RM, or mag, flat mag, whatever type of 9 mag you have is what we'll be using in the next video to shade this bad boy. That's it for this video, guys. If you liked it, hit a like. If you guys disliked it, hit a dislike. If you guys have any questions or comments, put them in the comments. I hope to see you in the next one. I had fun doing this. I don't usually tattoo fake skin. It's just weird. That was a weird experience, but fun nonetheless. And yeah, thank you for your time, guys. Thank you for stopping by, and peace.